Scrappy here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I have a fun layout coming up today using up leftover thickers. So this is a challenge over in our Scraptember Facebook group. So we like to give our Scraptember Facebook group members a challenge every month. And we did do an alpha challenge in January, and we've continued that challenge into February as well. But this month the challenge is to use up those thickers or alpha stickers, the ones we have lying around that are almost used up. You know, we can't make any more words out of them, but we just, there's a few left in the packet. So that is what we're doing. So you can see here, for these ones mainly, to be honest, they're numbers. In fact, they're all numbers. So I just had them lying around in my thicker stash. I had 4 sheets and I just needed to use them up. They were just hanging around. I almost binned them, but then I kept them just thinking one day I'll use them, one day I'll create letters out of them. You notice I don't think there's any ones. And I don't think there's any 2s. And that's because most of these were used, and how I used up the numbers was in my December daily. And also when I was doing physical project life and I was numbering my weeks, and, doing dates and things like that. But the 1s and 2s are definitely, mostly gone. So you can see me here. I'm just sticking all of my thickers down in a, random pattern. You don't need to be able to read the letters or anything like that. And basically what I'm doing, or what I was aiming to do, was almost to create, my vertical strip. And instead of using pattern paper, I'm using thickers. So my aim was to kind of use the thickers as, sort of my patterned paper strip, so to speak. And this is a design that I, used to do fairly often. It's a pretty, it's a go-to design in my scrapbooking world, and in a lot of other people's, I know. And so, I was just replacing that pattern paper with thickers, essentially. So you can see I've grabbed a few more thickers. I don't love these thickers, and I did buy 2 packets of them, but I didn't realise until I'd kind of opened them and was using them that I only, there was a manufacture fault, and I have 3 sets of like the back. So 3 sets of the XYZs and the numbers, and only 1 set of the A side. So that was a bit annoying. But I've used them a bit, but I'm definitely not going to get that much use out of them because there was that manufacture fault, and it was too late for me to do anything about. So that's okay. These things happen. It's nobody's fault, but it just means they're a little less usable. So I'm coming in with some enamel shapes from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, the You Rock collection. I am using Cocoa Vanilla Studio for the rest of this layout, but it's a hodgepodge mix of Cocoa Vanilla Studio collections. So I have put, except for their most recent boys collection, Legendary, everything else I have mixed in together of my Cocoa Vanilla boys collection, and I don't have a lot left at all, and I'm doing my best actually to try and finish it because I want it all gone. And so, I'm just using up the last little bits that are there. Now, I've got this series of 4 photos. They are of my partner and my son, and they are playing catch, effectively. Danny is rolling a ball, throwing a ball to Lincoln, and Lincoln he's not catching it, when was this taken? June last year, so he was, 14 months old, 15 months old, so he's not catching it. He's just having a lot of fun pushing it back towards Daddy and, laughing when Daddy pushes it towards him. So I just captured a series of photos. They're all essentially the same photo, but, just different stages of the ball throwing and catching. And I wanted to use them all in the layout. So I cut them down to 3x3 squares, and as you can see, I've just arranged them all on my page going down the page. And then, just mounted them on white cardstock, and that's it. So obviously when you use thickers like this as a kind of replacement of pattern paper, it's pretty full on. So I wanted to keep the rest of my embellishing fairly simple, fairly minimal, just because there's a lot going on this page. And so, that's what I'm doing. So you can see the strips that I've got on the left-hand side. That's actually washi tape that came from one of the Cocoa Vanilla Studio collections. And I actually stuck it onto white cardstock and then cut it out. It's essentially just like pattern paper strips now, but it's just a little bit easier for me to manage. So that's what I did. And now I am sticking those all down. So I'm creating a cluster on the sort of topish right hand side of the page, and just layering up some of the washi tape strips, which again I cut out. I put them on white cardstock and cut them out, and I'm layering those up. I just wanted to get a range of colours and patterns into this and sort of making a bit of a triangle type shape. I've got this ephemera piece that says "That's my boy." It was a sticker from the sticker sheet, and then a little phrase that says "1 in a million." And I'm adding that. Oh, and then I have a little chipboard arrow, which I actually peeled off a few layers of the chipboard because it's quite thick, and then just popped it up on foam, which I know defeats the purpose of having chipboard, but that is what I did nonetheless. I could have just left the chipboard whole. I realise the irony. It's okay. And so, I'm working on the cluster in the sort of left-hand side of the page. And again, I'm adding a couple of strips of the washi tape. I've got a chipboard piece that says Radical and then a chipboard arrow as well. And then my final cluster is at the top of the page, the top left. And I've got, again, some washi strips that I'm adding. And I'm just using ATG. So I'm hoping that it will stick okay because the ATG has to stick to the thickers. But so far, because I'm looking at the layout right now, it is all good. Oh, and I have a couple of banners there. The top one says Fun. And then again, I'm adding an arrow because I've got one in each cluster. And I add some little, I did it already, sorry. I added some little photo corners, one to the top left of the photos and then one on the very bottom right of the 4 photos, if that makes sense. Just because I had them in the kind of few embellishments that I had left from all of the boys' collections, and I just wanted to get them on the page. And then I'm adding splatters, quite a lot of splatters, I'll be honest. So I am adding the navy, Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, because, you know, who am I if I don't have navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine on my layout? And gold. Very predictable, people. I am very predictable. So I'm adding both of those and then I'm finished. So if you'd like to come and join our Scraptember Facebook group, please feel free. The link will be in the description box down below. But this is a really good way to bash your thickers. So I encourage you to get out those thickers of, you know, when you can't make any more words with them or you just don't like them that much, and try and think of different ways that you can use them. All right, thank you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.